GOP congressmen and Afghanistan war veterans Brian Mast and Jim Banks. I was listening to that gentleman and was shocked. It was like I was sitting in a boring seminar at Stanford with someone spouting things that were rather bizarre. One of the remarkable things I made a note of was his comment that we're going to continue with diplomacy now. That's the shift, but we've all run over to Qatar, right? It's going to be from Doha. Congressman Mast, your thoughts after hearing that tonight?
Yeah, number one, what you said, they're going to continue diplomacy when they couldn't even conduct diplomacy when they had military on the ground. That's number one. Number two, probably the most dire thing that I heard him say was this, that the Taliban made a commitment to not allow Afghanistan to become a terrorist safe haven. Let's break that down. The terrorists said they won't allow that country to become a terrorist safe haven. That's makes you wonder about Blinken, our State Department, Biden at every possible level.
Yeah, it is just stunning. I'm trying to think of I made so many notes of what we're dealing with here, because I mean we've got such a shocking development in general that this is seemingly over, and yet there are, I think, untold numbers, Congressman Banks, of how many Americans are still left. It seems to be the incredibly shrinking number, and now it's at 100. But they had trouble giving us a number early on, and now it's this magical number of people who somehow just want to stay. What are your thoughts upon what you've just heard?
Well, you heard him say that it's around 200, but closer to 100. An hour or so ago, the State Department said 250. And then you have General McKenzie just said just moments ago that it's in the few hundreds of Americans who are still left behind enemy lines. The fact of the matter is they don't know. They don't know how many Americans that they've left behind. And furthermore, it's unfathomable to me that we would leave any American behind. These guys decided that they would bow down to the Taliban and abide by the Taliban's deadline and their red lines. I never in my life thought I would see an American president kowtow to a terrorist group like the Taliban, but that's exactly what Joe Biden and his team have done. And at this point, since the last evacuation, the last plane has left, you now know, the American people now know that this president has done something that no president in American history has done before. He left Americans behind. It's disgraceful, and he should be held accountable for it.
Representative Mast, we heard Jackie Heinrich report earlier that the last 5 transports did not include any Americans. We know from rescuers, we've got incredible groups of Americans rescuing, on these kind of random kind of flights of things that they've arranged, privately to rescue people. Is this a dynamic that we can even comprehend here, that private Americans, including this network, rescuing over 24 people who had worked with us and their families out of Afghanistan? How does our government do that? How do they not even try to make this work where you've got private citizens making it work in the meantime?
I think you actually touched on the one silver lining, the one bright spot in the midst of all of this horror, is there's still a few Americans over there that are showing the world who America is. Just like those Marines that gave their lives, Americans that are stepping up in and out of uniform to say, you know what, there's a line that we're not going to let you pass. There's a point that you will not go beyond. That's what those Americans are going out there saying. They're showing the world, these are the lions that Americans really are. Don't look at this lamb that's standing in front of us, President Biden. This is the real America, not the lamb that's holding up the white flag of surrender to move out of Bagram, to move out of the embassy, to move out of the country on the timeline of the terrorists. That's the only bright spot that I can point to in the midst of that horror.
It is a reminder, gentlemen, of who we are, what we stand for, what we are willing to accomplish, ranging from an Instagram celebrity to a television network to other retired military, everyone working to try to make this right. Gentlemen, you've both made a personal sacrifice in this war. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.